They had to research the area. They had to research, you know, where did they want to be? What other theaters are in the area? There was a lot of things that they had to put together for me before I was even contemplating doing this.
Megan and I met, I was 12, so she was 14. We met doing theater up at the Performing Arts in Port Jefferson, and we did our first show in which I was ridiculously untalented and terrible, and Megan had to teach me how to do a box step for the first time.
Well, Karen and I have known each other since we were about 14 years old. Since we were in high school, we did theater together, did a bunch of shows together, and we always talked about opening up our own theater. And that was a big dream of ours, to kind of take what we were learning and do it our own way.
But we decided like this was the place we could make our home and make it the way we wanted to.
We had all these ideas for what we wanted to do, and the main goal was to incorporate both the professional theater, which is Karen's passion, and the education, which is my passion. And the theater that we went to when we were in high school had a huge focus on education and on building skills and starting off at one level and progressing to another level, no matter what the level was. And we really loved that. And every other theater on Long Island focused more on the professional aspect, on just putting out a show, and there wasn't really a venue where there was both.
We met at a diner right on like 54th Street, and we like blocked out the whole thing. We had like, I had a floor plan, I had like this whole image, and she was like, all right, crazy pants, let's go. If you want to really do this, then let's figure out how to do this.
So starting it, that's how it came to be, and that's how the two of us work so well together, that her passion is one of those things and mine is the other, and we both have those as equals. So starting out, that was a big focus of ours, to try to make sure that we started both the professional and the educational level for the kids at the same time, and kept them both going and kept them both building all the way through, which has been our biggest challenge.
The age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius.
So for every show that I do, I always direct them. 98% of the time I choreograph them, unless I'm so overwhelmed I decide to bring somebody in, but most of the time I do that. I do all the costume designs most of the time. The set design layout in my head is mine, at which time I then go, Megan, can you make this happen?
So I run the lights and the sounds and the sound system for all of that, as well as helping kind of directing and the making of the set pieces and the props and things. So what we're rehearsing right now is Rent, which you can definitely hear in the background.
I played Mimi, and Mimi to me is a character, and I say this humbly, but I feel that oftentimes I've seen her played as a very one-dimensional kind of person. Not necessarily the ingenue, but kind of just more of the shell, of more of what's beautiful, what's glamorous. And I find that she, while she is that, she's more than that.
at SoLuna, we dive into the characters, we dive into how the characters feel and all that stuff, which in turn actually is good for yourself. Like, I've learned so many like personal experiences through what we've done, like specifically in Rent, like all of going through into all the characters. It was crazy. You learn so much as a person and as a performer. And I think being with Karen again and again, you understand where she's coming from.
It's like I'm being tied to the hood of a yellow rental truck, being packed with fertilizer. Fuel oil pushed over the cliff.
Theater was totally out of my comfort zone. Like I said, a business, I can do insurance, I could do collection. Theater was just something I knew nothing about.
Christmas bells are ringing. Christmas bells are ringing. Christmas bells are ringing. Out of town, Santa Fe.
We go back. So you guys have to make sure, Randy, you did and you preset your things in the quiet corner. Guys, the lights go out, so if you need to like preset, like there can be like shit on that half wall where like that light bulb is by the door. It doesn't matter. Like you need to like preset stuff at an easy spot because like the whole stage is pretty much filled with garbage anyway. It doesn't matter if shit's kind of like lying around. But I like that Randy used that corner because Randy was like right on time with that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hollis, can we?
So my directing style is very different, I feel, than a lot of other people, especially locally or whatever. I learned in the city that a lot of acting choices should kind of come from a very pure and natural place, and that really you should let actors be actors and try to make art their own. Like, yes, it is my vision, but it's my vision through artists, and I have to allow them to kind of find their own way. So for really dark pieces, especially when someone dies, I always do this exercise that I kind of call death circle, where I put the actor that is the actor that's going to die in the middle of a circle, and all their actors have to face them. And the person that's dead has to make eye contact and find a moment in time just through eye contact with every actor in their circle to find what that moment is, to really up the stakes and like, what does that person mean? Like in this show, it's what does Angel mean to everyone? And I throw out a lot of trigger words at people that I know. Then after you do the circle and you put them in their blocking, there's just something natural and raw and real that happens.
I feel like Rent is always, it's always how well can you do Rent? Because everyone knows Rent. It's always how well can you do the Broadway production of Rent. And I think I'm glad that I'm doing Rent with SoLuna because we're not trying to be Broadway. We're trying to be our own Rent and stay true to what Jonathan Larson and whoever else wrote in the script. We're trying to stay true to what Rent should be and not to how the Broadway production is.
I'm afraid so. They get any money? No, none of it. But they've ruined my coat. Well, you missed just to leave. Thanks. How it's Christmas Eve. I'm angel. Indeed.
And we have a bunch of different programs that go on. So we start the earliest at age 5. Those are our intro classes, and those are from grades kindergarten to 4th grade. And they're very basic. They focus on stage skills, and the kids do little shows based on stories that they know, like the Elf and the Shoemaker, something like that. And then after that are the junior productions, which are grades 4 through 9.
Can Natalie, you see the red slider? Raise that a little bit, and let's try it again.
And those are musical theater productions. So recently, you know, we've done Schoolhouse Rock Junior in the past, and now we are doing Aladdin Junior as part of our summer camp. So that's more of an intense musical production. And after that, we have YPT, which is the teens directing themselves, which is a great program that we have here. The teens direct, choreograph, musical direct, and Karen and I take turns supervising and looking over them, making sure they're on the right track. But for the most part, they do that all themselves. It's a very peer directed project. It gives them a lot of great experience. And after that is the teen and main stage program, which Karen does. So we try to have something for every age level, every experience level, so the kids can really move up with us and grow and continue to grow.
How can you connect in an age where strangers, landlords, lovers, your own blood cells betray? What binds a fabric together when the raging, shifting winds of change keep ripping away? All I can say and then make a stand. Camera to spark, use your guitar. When they act tough, you call their bluff. We're not gonna pay. We're not gonna pay. We're not gonna pay last year's rent, this year's rent, next year's rent. Rent, 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 rent. We're not gonna pay rent, 'cause everything is rent.
In 2012, I started doing children's shows here, and then I worked my way into, I was asked to do hair from main stage to pit direct, and then I came back, I was in the pit for a chorus line, and then I musically directed Xanadu, which was my first show musically directing, and now I'm doing Rent and Bear, and future shows Carrie, and I'm going to play for Bonnie and Clyde.
So I am Karen's assistant director, which basically means with 3 cast to be the Karen of the room when she's not in the room. I've done a lot working with Danny, who's incredible on music, so that's kind of been more like a vocal coach kind of job or position in there, which has been awesome. Yeah, try to speak at pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like almost trick yourself into it.
Okay.
Like Robert Preston.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 4.
To your family.
Bigger.
For the to your family?
All of it.
Okay.
3, 4.
And then to your family. Yeah.
Throw that at the wall, at that wall, at Mary.
Okay.
And then Mary!
Okay.
Hit that wall, hit the dress.
Okay. I got this.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And then Merry Christmas to your family.
Good. Do it one more time. Do it again.
Karen's been talking about this since she's been, I think, 5 years old. She entertained everybody. She knew she wanted to do this. When she had, right after she had opened the studio, I found a letter that she had written. I think she was in 10th grade, basically saying, I'm going to open up my own performing arts studio. I brought it in. She had her class of kids there. She started to cry because she read the letter to the kids, basically telling them that you can do anything. You have a goal, you can do anything.
To me, Rent is about not giving in to a sort of borrowed time, because I feel like a lot of the characters in essence and technically are on borrowed time. Saying to the audience members, we're not going to pay rent, means to me I'm not going to die, even though technically I have a death sentence.
Well, right now we're running with the teens. We're doing, we just finished running Act 2, so we're going to be starting to run Act 1. And then it's Tech Week, and opening night is next week already. I think we're there.
What's my sin of a twin?
Does that feel a little different?
Yes.
And then it's like, what am I doing? I love this place. I have never, I did community theater for years when I was in high school. I worked professionally, and I've never been in a place that is such a supportive environment and such a, what I've been saying since I've been here, that everyone here is fearless. Like, people here, they haven't moved out in the world yet and been jaded by the craziness of like the business of theater. They're all just here doing it because they're so passionate about it, and they're so fearless. Like in vocal coachings, I'll say, try this, and they'll try that, and then go harder or go further. And it's always just pushing boundaries. It's just fearlessness. And it is so inspiring to be around these people and the team, because everyone's just giving 300%.
Working with Andrew was interesting. I mean, Andrew really gives a lot of heart in what he does. And I mean, talking about his ability, I can go on and on, speaking about his vocal ability and his acting ability. And I must say that I am very grateful to have worked with someone who is so talented, is so driven and dedicated. And I'm glad that I had an opportunity to work alongside him in this production.
I covered the Long Island section of BroadwayWorld.com. I critique the regional theater on the Long Island, all over Long Island. I go over from Nassau into the Hamptons, and I just critique the local shows. One of the things that really struck me is the camaraderie that is here. We just saw some people having lunch, some of the actors having lunch in the same room. You know, it's really a community here, and I think that's one of the things that really struck me as apart from a lot of the other shows. As in CM Pack, it's very close knit family there as well.
Everybody all around the world, gotta tell you what I just heard. There's gonna be a party all over the world.
I never wanted a big theater. I feel like the bigger the theater, sometimes the less artistic a show can be. That's just my personal preference, not saying that big theaters are bad. Me personally, every theater I ever worked at, as an actor, I always preferred a small black box kind of setting. So when we were looking for a space, I wanted some place that I could really make a very intimate space. Because my space is me. My space is supposed to be small and creative and packed with a lot of power in a very tiny space. It is me. And that's really what I wanted. I like the actors to be close to their audience.
So next week is Tech Week. One of the biggest things that I have to do, aside from making sure all the music cues and the lighting cues are there, is actually going to set up our lights. And we actually rent some LEDs, which are the brightly colored lights that we use on the floor, and we rent them out from a place that's actually in the same building as us, just down the ways a little bit, Sensory Lighting. And they're amazing, they always help us out a lot. We've rented from them for a lot of our shows. So on the first day of Tech, one of the things I'll be doing is going to pick up those lights and install them, making sure they all are hitting everywhere we want to hit, and those will add a lot of emotion to the lights.
I've been doing theater across Long Island since I was 12. My first show was 13. I started here at SoLuna about a year ago when I auditioned for The Wedding Singer, and I was put in the ensemble and just fell in love with the place and the people, and ever since then I've done almost every single show here since then, whether it was working on it, working in the box office, or being in it.
Play was start, then the play would be stop.
You got it? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, no, I'm always wrong with that thing. That's why it's Megan's and not mine.
Who sell on my world, banana vitamins, a box of Captain Crunch potatoes.
Well, Karen has grown to be one of my really good friends. Being with her and around her, and our friendship growing through all the ups and downs of the theater has really allowed her to be a support for me, and has really allowed me the opportunity to be a support for her. And I think that really typifies the type of community here, right? That even the director and the owner and, you know, Megan, who's the co-owner and does a lot of the production stuff, all of that, you know, doesn't separate them from us. It's really cool having someone who is in sort of the similar sphere of life experience to you, who's in charge of creativity. It almost gives a certain amount of ownership of the theater. You know, you listen to the people who come into the place, and they talk like it's our place, you know, it's our theater.
My costumes come from Savers, or, you know, I have one of my own girls make them themselves. You know, I really try to stick to what I know I can really do and what I can pull off in my own way. So my most ambitious one I ever pulled off was Bonnie and Clyde. When I saw Bonnie and Clyde, my friend Lewis Hobson was in it. He was the sheriff on Broadway, and I fell in love. I was like, I am doing this show. I don't care how I have to make this happen. I will make this happen.
Bonnie's not a criminal. She's a good girl. I know her. She's the only one who could have done it. Mom said she's headed up to Utah. And that's your proof? She's a good girl. Straight A student. She has a job. It don't make sense.
In Rent, I am the assistant choreographer, which means I help come up with dances. I have to memorize all the dances and teach them, and teach people who weren't here and catch people up. And there's always like that one dance that someone has the weak points in, so we have to bring everything up.
Rent is probably one of the easier shows tech-wise because there is really no set change. The curtains are completely down in the space. The stage is completely open. Because there's really only a scaffolding that never moves. It's now in the shape of an L. I make that scaffolding transfer in everything, whether it's straight, there's one piece, two pieces, I make that thing do 1,000 things. So it's just currently an L, and the whole space will be graffitied and have a bunch of garbage things, which is very easy and very good to do on a budget. And then really the only thing that moves on stage are silver tables. But I really wanted to make Rent different and make it our Rent, which is why really none of like the original Broadway things that everyone tries to duplicate are not really part of our show.
You make out this right now in the AC corner. Yep, and then you make out, and then you will both stay coupled, but then you also hit the last lovey bow. Okay, so then Randy and Andrew come in. It says everyone.
Well, at this point, we're focusing on music for the show, and in past shows, we love to have a pit to have live music as often as possible, but we've used tracks in the past when we have to, and the reason that we sometimes have to is that tracks are far less expensive than paying musicians.
They needed to prove to me that this is what the girls really wanted. I mean, they were friends, they met at a performing arts studio, they have always talked about this, and I needed more of substance. I wanted to see how passionate they were about this. I wanted a business plan. I'm more of a business person. I need numbers. I need things in front of me. And the two girls put together an amazing business plan.
We have two separate lighting boards. We have our regular house lights, which are just normal things here. And then we also have our LED lights, which are the colored lights right over there, so we can add some colors to things. So we have all that going on the two boards. We have our soundboard over here. This is where we run the microphones when we use them, where we run the pit from. So we'll sound check the pit when they come in for hair later tonight and make sure they're all set to go. And it's also when we use tracks, where we run the tracks from, and those come out of this computer right here. These are our rent tracks that Danny made for us. And then this computer is for our projector. So this will have Rent T&B. And in Rent, we use this for the video that Mark makes throughout the course of the show. It plays twice. And this computer gets hooked up to our projector, so everything we play on this computer comes right on stage. And that gets run right from here. So everything that you see on screen, this is exactly what gets shown on stage. During the show, the projector is supposed to cut out at some point, so I make that happen from here. And then it starts over again from the beginning after that.
Oh, we just did the song Will I, and it's about losing somebody you love, losing everything that you have. It's about finding yourself.
How did it impact you? How does it impact you?
It just makes you realize what's important in life. You realize who you really care about, and imagining the person that you're madly in love with is just dying from this disease that it just takes everybody. Yeah.
And have you been in this play before?
No, this is my first time. Yeah.
And how's the play impacting you personally?
It's really taken an emotional toll as I laugh about it, but it's beautiful. It really is.
Tracks for Rent now, which is fine because we've been rehearsing with the tracks the whole time, so the actors know all the cues and stuff, and me and Megan have been working on editing the tracks so they fit with the score and the vocals and everything, and then some of the tracks I remade and actually made because some of them weren't even there, like Support Group and Christmas Bells 1, and some of the voicemails weren't even there, so I had to make those.
It's like, it's just love. You can feel the warmth radiating in this place. You don't feel like you're going to be judged, you're going to be hated, you just feel accepted, which is wonderful, especially in a theater community such as Long Island.
That's my goal, that there are so many people that you can't stand on chairs. Please go! What? Are you sure? It has to fit in the inside of Melody. Oh, really? That's question. Where's Willie?
Yeah, I can do that. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling. I mean, because we've got this preview show, it feels like opening's like just a little closer now, and it's like sort of snuck up on me. But I'm really pumped. We've done a lot of great work, a lot of really good stuff in this one. So. We're not gonna pay last year's rent, this year's rent, next year's rent, rent. We're not gonna pay rent, 'cause every
when we all come here together, no one ever wants to leave. You know, we all want to keep working towards that goal of producing something, because you hear it in the reviews all the time. You know, SoLuna reviewed almost every show that we put on here, and the thing that they consistently say is that the talent here is so rich.
Rent here was gorgeous. I've seen it a couple times. I saw it twice on Broadway, the off-Broadway production and the tour, and I saw it one local production as well. And here, having seen it that several times, it still got me. Particularly, was it John, his performance of the reprise of I'll Cover You. Oh my God. I haven't bawled like that in quite some time.
The I'll Cover You reprise scene is one that's really tough. Everyone does it a little bit differently, because you've got to pull on like personal hurt, you've got to pull on personal loneliness. I know for me as a person, I come from a very large family, and I generally end up, you know, because of that, you know, just being used to interacting with large groups of people, surround myself with large groups of people normally. The interesting thing about that is that even when you're surrounded by large groups of people, it's very easy to be lonely if you're not actually really truly engaging with people. And so what I find is that one of the things that I'm really drawing on hard during that scene is feelings of loneliness and feeling like, especially after the idea that Angel has passed away, and something in this 1 year that happened so fast and is so passionate is like instantly then gone. And then being left alone.
So financially, it was a struggle, really, from day one, because all our money comes from ticket sales. So we needed, we kind of could see, how do all the other theaters do it? How does everybody else survive? And they do it by grants, and they do it by donations. So at that point, I did all the paperwork to do the filing for the not-for-profit, which will give us the ability. We've turned down a couple of grants already because it hasn't been processed yet. So once that's processed, we can get grant money. At that point, I'm going to go to large corporations and see if we can start getting larger donations to support us. This way, we're not relying on just ticket sales, because, you know, the winter is tough. Nobody wants to go out in the winter. Nobody wants to go see a show. So, you know, we're surviving on ticket sales, which makes it almost impossible.
I know that for me, I allowed myself, when I chose to do this profession, to never have a backup. There is no backup for me because I do not believe that failure is an option. For me, I will, like the Titanic, this thing goes down, I am on this thing until it goes down and sinks and the iceberg comes. This is my baby, this is my life. I create art. That is what I do, and I will do it until my dying day.
Yesterday we had a preview performance that went amazingly, so if that went well, tonight can only go better, hopefully. That's the goal.
But whatever you do, just do the show you have been doing, because I cannot even tell you how proud I am of this show. Like, I know that him and I never thought I could really work with another human being, and actually work on the show. We all have our doubts. I'm a huge control freak, and it's even good that I even let Annie even touch my choreography. I'm you're good. It's amazing that I can trust more than one person, and honestly, this show has become more than I guess I ever really thought it was going to be. When I chose it, I was it'll be Red, it'll be fun, it'll be great. But it's become something that's really special to me, and I know it's something that's now special to all of you, but you'll see me cry about 1,000 times. Great. But I love you all, and just keep doing the show that we make, so that this way this shows everybody else loves. Teens have sold out in main stage, but this is the largest adult-only main stage opening. Normally, an average main stage opening is 25, maybe. So we have
double that.
Way double that. Yes. You ready?
I'm gonna get a little lighter first.
All right, I'm gonna go start my front of house speech, and then let's get ready to cry. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the opening night performance of Rent.
December 24th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. From here on in, I shoot without a script. See if anything comes of it. Is it my old shit? First shot Roger with the Fender guitar he hasn't played in a year. This won't do. So we hear he is just coming back from half a year of withdrawal. Talking to me? Not at all. Are you ready? Hold up, focus steady. Tell the folks at home what you doing, Roger. One great song. The phone rings. Save the screen. Zoom in on the answering machine. How do you write a song when the chords sound wrong? Though they once sounded right and rare. When the notes.
I think once we were in front of a full audience, obviously there is a sense in which you're okay, I'm doing what I have to do, in the sense of I'm an actor, I want to perform for people, and it's that your love comes out for it. It's the whole reason that we act, as far as the passion is concerned, as far as the performing arts are concerned. It's in a sense, I want to perform for people. I want to either make them cry in a weird way or make them happy. So seeing those packed houses really made me want to just bring Mimi to life in a way that was all right, I'm going to give them something they won't forget.
I
it's weird how much SoLuna has changed, even because, like I said, I've been here since the beginning. It's weird how much it's changed from then to now. So like it's very interesting to think of where it will be. I can't imagine it going anywhere but up. I can't imagine anything happening in a bad sense to the studio.
Whatever you have going on outside of these doors, when you walk in, you have people to talk to, people to see, friends that you like, and there have been people who have come and gone who have tried to start drama and break the family, but no matter what, we are just a family with open arms who just accepts everyone.
I've seen it go from nothing, where we had nobody audition for shows, you know, or 5 people show up, to where Rent, where there was 100. And I've never seen so much talent on the island. To be able to walk in and see all the love that everybody gives to the studio is amazing to me.